Relentlessness isn't something you're born with. Most people build it because they have to, because they weren't encouraged, because they weren't believed in, because when they did well, it was ignored, minimized, or immediately turned into pressure. That's the kind of relentlessness I'm talking about today. When I was younger, I was told I wouldn't amount to anything, that I'd end up being a drug dealer, I wasn't capable, and that I wasn't switched on. And when you hear that enough, especially from people who are meant to guide you, it sticks. Even when you move on, even when life changes, you don't forget it. The problem was never that I couldn't learn, it was that I was being taught in a way that didn't work for me. Years later, I realized that I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn by doing, by touching things, by being hands on. School didn't reward that, so I looked like I wasn't trying. I was, just not in the right environment. When I started working as an Apple technician, something clicked. For the first time, I was learning by doing, and I thrived. I pushed myself, I learned fast, and I cared. Eventually, I became a senior ACMT. That didn't happen because someone gave me a break, it happened because I refused to coast. And at one point, I won Service Department of the Year. And I want to be clear about this. This wasn't some internal pat on the back. This was a prestigious award from Apple. It came with real benefits for the business. And at that time, it was just me. I was the one running the service department. No team, no extra support, just me carrying it. And you know how that was handled? It wasn't celebrated, there was no recognition. Instead, I was told, better work harder now to keep it. And that moment taught me something. Some managers don't motivate, they extract. They don't see value, they consume it. Instead of saying, you know what, well done, they say, don't let standards slip. Instead of building people up, they move the goalposts. That happened a lot. Later on, I was given responsibility for 6 engineers. We were achieving great results, hitting targets, doing the work properly, and still, it was never enough. No celebration, no acknowledgement, just more pressure. And that's where a lot of people break. I could have quit and blamed them, and honestly, I probably wouldn't have been wrong. But relentlessness isn't about fairness. It's about deciding who you're becoming, regardless of who's around you. So I stayed long enough to learn what I needed, then I moved on. I didn't leave Apple because I failed. I left because I wanted more. More growth, more challenge, more ownership of my life. That decision pretty much scared me because comfort has never built anything meaningful. Becoming a broadband engineer pushed me in a different way. Technically, I could do the job. Socially, mentally, I just wasn't confident at all. I struggled to talk to strangers. I wouldn't really ask questions or make conversation, and I wouldn't really assert myself. And if people that are listening to this that know me very well now, that probably sounds a little bit mad, but that was real. I didn't quit. I stayed uncomfortable. I learned how to speak to people, how to ask questions, and how to stop shrinking myself. And eventually, I just stopped caring about what people thought. Not because I'd hardened, but because I grew. I couldn't give a fuck what you think about me. I am who I am, and that's it. Then I became a coach. Again, new challenge, difficult conversations, holding people accountable and calling things out. It didn't come naturally, but quitting has never been my pattern. Learning is. Relentlessness isn't loud. It's not about grinding yourself into burnout. It's adjusting, learning, staying, and refusing to disappear, especially when no one's clapping. And now I'm podcasting. I don't know where it will lead. I don't have a master plan, but I know this. Every time I trusted myself and kept going, something opened up. So I'm doing it again. Relentlessness is continuing, even when your best work is met with silence. If this episode resonated, especially if you've ever felt unseen or undervalued, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more of this, real stories, no bullshit, follow the podcast so you don't miss what's next. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.